Hi, everybody. We are recording right now. I can see some people are coming into the room, which is fantastic. You're all very, very welcome. We're going to wait a couple of minutes just to give enough people time to enter the room because we've had 251 people bookmark this session, which doesn't mean that 250 people will join us. But I would imagine based on typical registrations, we should get about a third of that number. Hopefully. And of course, those people that can't attend live, they can always watch the recording as well, which will be available apparently about an hour after this session. So because I'm losing a couple of minutes at the beginning here, just to give people enough time to join in, I will carry on a couple of minutes after the official 11:45 cutoff. I've checked with Jonathan Scott, who I've just been having a quick chat with about this wonderful Zoom events platform, which I think takes Zoom to the next level. And he said that's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to give people a couple of minutes to join. While you're there, feel free to write in the chat where you're from, what languages you speak or teach, if you're primary or secondary or tertiary. What's the weather like where you are? At the moment, you can see, even though I've actually got my curtains closed because otherwise the sun goes onto my screen or screens. I've got two screens as per normal. You can see it's a very sunny day here on the Isle of Wight, which is where I live. So feel free to say hello. Hi, Samir. I can see you're coming live from Enfield. Guola from Surrey. Il fait beau, très bien. That's fantastic. So this particular session, as you know, is all around accessibility features using popular tools that lots of you know about. And I can't wait to show you lots of lovely ideas from the presentation, which I'm sure you'll find really interesting. I have got the chat open the whole time, so feel free to write in the chat questions, etc. I'll try my best to multitask, but I'm sure you appreciate that with lots of people all asking questions at the same time, it might take a little bit of time. So I think as it's now 3 minutes past 11, I'm going to make a start. So let me share my screen like that. So there we are. Okay, perfect. And you should be able to see my presentation. So welcome, everybody. My name is Joe Dale. I'm a former languages teacher. I taught French for 13 years, 3 years at secondary school level, and then 10 years at middle school level on the Isle of Wight, which is where I'm living right now. And for the last 13 years or so, I've been an independent languages consultant, normally traveling around the world, running training and speaking at conferences in places like Australia and New Zealand and North America and the Middle East and all over Europe and South America. But as a result of the pandemic and as a result of Brexit as well, I've had to change my model and do lots of work via webinars. And this is the third time I've joined the language show live, virtually speaking, but I've actually been speaking at the language show, I think I'm right saying every year since 2005. So it's really amazing to be here with everybody. And I really, really hope that you find the session useful. I will be sharing the presentation with you as per normal on the last slide. So you'll have that and you'll be able to watch the recording back as well. If you don't know, my Twitter handle is @JoeDale. I've now got 34,500 followers or so. Feel free to follow me if you're not already. Feel free to ask me to retweet anything for you. Feel free to tweet during the session as well. You'd be more than welcome to do so. And my email address is joedale@talk21.com as well. So feel free to send me a message after the session if there's anything that's not clear. I would encourage you to make notes, but as we've said, you're going to get the presentation and the recording as well. So let's make a start. This is what we're going to look at in today's session. As you can see, it's going to be very practical. We're going to be looking at a number of different Chrome extensions, as well as apps and various web tools that you can use to allow students who need a bit more support, so that extra support in the classroom to help them with their language learning. That's what this session is all about. And I'd love to hear from experiences in the chat as well, if you've been using any of these ideas already. So the first thing we're going to do is look at Natural Reader. Now, Natural Reader is it's a free online reader, as well as a Chrome extension and as well as an iOS and Android app as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come out of this presentation and I'm going to show you, this is what it looks like, the Natural Reader online reader space. And I've gone to Le Monde. And as you can see, I've got some text here about Donald Trump. So I'm going to copy this text like this in French. This is live on the website as we speak. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to go to Natural Reader and I'm going to paste in the text like this. And now what I'm going to do is click on the little voices icon here. And you can see that I can choose Julie or Hortense from the French language engine, or I can choose an English one. But as this text is in French, that would sound very silly if I were to choose an English one. So I'm going to choose Julie, and let's have a listen to what it sounds like. If I now press play, you can have a listen to the model of pronunciation that Natural Reader gives you. Here we go.
Donald Trump confronté à l'étiquette redoutable de loser après les midterms 2022.
Perfect. Obviously, I didn't choose this text on purpose. You can change the speed. If I click on the speed option, you can see that I can make it slower or faster. Let's try now.
Le palmarès électoral de l'ex-président des États-Unis ressemble.
As you can hear, that slowed down a little bit, and likewise, I can go faster. If you're looking for options like converting what you've done here into an MP3, that's a premium version, a premium option, shall I say. But for free, you can put in any text you want into Natural Reader on whatever device you want to use in the ways that I've talked about already, and you can have a model of pronunciation having this reading back to you. I can see we have the question, can you type in your own text? Yes, absolutely. I could get rid of this if I wanted to, like that, and I could then just write in my own text. Absolutely. So that's absolutely fine. No problem at all. Great question. Okay. So hopefully that's nice and clear. There's also the Chrome extension. So if I click here and I highlight the text as well, and I right click and I choose this time read selection, that's because I have the Natural Reader Chrome extension installed. I click on this right now. And
Midterm 2022, Donald Trump confronté à l'étiquette redoutable de loser.
There we are. You can see this little play icon has come up on the screen, and I can click on the plus icon here. And again, I can choose the language by scrolling through. So you've got English, UK, English, US, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Dutch, Indonesian, you name it, it's there. So just for that basic functionality of being able to have that text read back to you, it's a great way, in my opinion, to encourage independence in learners in relation to their pronunciation, giving them the opportunity maybe to improve their pronunciation at home or at school, wherever they may be. You can speed up and slow down as you can with the online reader. There's lots of things that you can do with this to help with pronunciation and boost autonomy. I'll just exit that now like that, and let's carry on. Hopefully that's nice and clear. So that was Natural Reader. And I see we've got another question. Does it have various languages or only French and English? So in the online reader option I just showed you, it had English and French, but in the Chrome extension that I showed you as well, you have a whole range of different languages. Yeah. I can see I've got a few questions coming. Obviously, I've got a lot of content. Let's just have a quick look. Do you reckon this all levels, Joe? For example, do you see the merit of using this at Key Stage 5? Why not? I know, as I've just shown, I've had a broadsheet article with complex language. So why not use it at Key Stage 5? If it's going to help with the students' pronunciation or understanding, then I would say go for it. So the next idea I'm going to show you is an iPad idea, which is speak selection in iOS. So here what you do is you tap on the settings app on your iPad or your iPhone. You go to where it says accessibility, and you're looking for the speak selection option, which is the little switch here. You just make sure that's turned on. And as a result of that, what will happen is a little icon on your keyboard will appear, which will have the microphone. And you can also have the text read back to you in different languages by going to General. This is just obviously a screenshot. I'm not doing this live. Click on General, go to Keyboards, and then Keyboard, add new keyboard, choose the language of that keyboard, and then on your keyboard it will come up with a globe. And as a result of that, you can then hold your finger on that, select the language, and then use the microphone to then either dictate, or in the case of speak selection, you can hold down your finger on some text and it will give you the option to tap speak, and it will then read the text back for you. Let me give you an example right now. So I'm going to click new share. I'm going to choose the iPhone, iPad option and click share like this. It says a plugin is required, even though I've literally just practiced this and it was fine. So let's just see if I can get this to work. That's all fine. So if I click now on new share again, iPhone, iPad and share. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not going to try this now because obviously it's not playing fair, but what should be happening is I should see a screen which allows me to mirror my iPad. I'm just going to try one more time. If it doesn't work, no, it's not going to work. Okay, that's fine. So you just have to believe me. If you have enabled speak selection, what you do is you find some text, be it on the web or in your notes app or wherever it might be. You select it by holding your finger down onto a word, and then when you take your finger off, you'll get blue handles appearing either side of the word. You just move the blue handles to the selection that you want, and the little menu will come up, and one of the options will be speak. You tap on that, and if you have speak selection enabled, it will then read the text back to you, which is great. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is called use immersive reader on website. I think I've got another question from Mary. I haven't heard of Natural Speaker, but we use the Chrome extension Read Aloud. Do you know how they compare? I think they're quite similar. So all these things, just have a play, see which one works out best. This one, in my opinion, I prefer that to Natural Reader, and I have had a play with Read Aloud, but I think this one is particularly wonderful. So again, I'm just going to show you how it works. I'm going to come out of the presentation. So this is use immersive reader on websites. I'm going to go back to that lovely Donald Trump article, and I'm going to select the text again, right click, and this time I'm going to click where it says help me read this. Now the reason it says help me read this is because of the fact that I have the use immersive reader on websites Chrome extension installed. So for those people that don't know what immersive reader is, officially it's a Microsoft tool which is available in options such as Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Class Notebook, OneNote, Wakelet, Flip, formerly known as Flipgrid, etc., etc. And what it allows you to do is what you're seeing right now. This is a carbon copy of immersive reader, but this is the unofficial version as a Chrome extension. So it recognizes the language immediately. You don't have to put in the language. And if I press play, it should give me a good model of pronunciation. Here we go.
Midterm 2022, Donald Trump confronté à l'étiquette redoutable de « loser », le palmarès électoral de l'ex-président des États-Unis ressemble...
Now, as you can hear, I'm sure it's a better model of pronunciation compared to Natural Reader, which is wonderful. And you've got some similar options, such as here, if I click on voice settings, I can change the speed, so I can make the person sound slower, like this.
Ressemble de plus en plus à une litanie de défaites.
Okay, or if I make them sound as if they've been having a few whiskeys, this is how it sounds as well.
Défaites. Certains n'en sont propres qu'on n'hésite plus à dire.
Okay, I think maybe that's a bit too much, but certainly if you wanted to reduce the speed, you could do that. You could have a male and female voice. Here's the male one.
Que c'est un perdant, une grenade lancée au cœur de son identité.
So I'm sure you agree that the quality of the pronunciation is really fantastic. I can see I'm getting lots of questions coming through here. I'll try my best to answer some of them, but I'm sure you appreciate that I'm trying to present at the same time. So yeah, so this one, the question is, can you type your text to use with this? This is just to have a text read back to you using Use Immersive Reader with websites. If you were to write in a Google Doc, for example, then I can show you a way of doing that in a second. Okay, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the text preferences option, and you can see here that you can change the text size like this. Can you see? So that's nice on its own. You can have this spacing option as well. If you want to have the text more spaced out, then that's good. You can change the font like this. Okay. You can change the background theme. So you can have a yellow theme, you can have a blue theme, etc., etc. Particularly good for dyslexic readers. So that's wonderful like that. And that's on its own is wonderful. If I go back to the next option, grammar options, this is also wonderful for languages for obvious reasons. I can turn on all the different nouns and verbs and adjectives and adverbs. I can even show the labels. In other words, above the words, it says N and ADJ, etc. You can also enable syllables, which could help with pronunciation as well, as you can see. So as a result of this, from a language learning point of view, you can see immediately which are the nouns, which are the adjectives, and so on and so forth within any article which is on the web, or as I mentioned, in Word or in Google Docs, etc. Now, if I click on the this option here, which is the reading preferences, you can do good old line focus. So I can turn on line focus, and I can have the line appearing one at a time, or I can have 3 lines at a time. So in the olden days, we used to use a ruler. So you used to have the ruler on a piece of paper, and you'd move the line down. But with line focus in User Immersive Reader on websites, you can just use it automatically, digitally speaking. If I want to get rid of the line focus, I just do that. You've also got the picture dictionary. So let's see if I click on the word quand here, for example, then you can see this has now come up as a picture. Let's see, there's not always a picture for everything. So let me see what happens if I click here. No, there's not for there, but I've got the pronunciation practice.
Palmarès.
Like that, or here. So the same.
Électoral.
Okay, let's try and cœur. I'm sure there will be. There we are. So we've got a nice little picture, 2 pictures of the word cœur, which if you're not a French speaker means heart, and so on and so forth. Now, if I go back to the reading preferences, you'll see that you can also translate if you want to. You can translate word by word or the whole document. Let me just choose English. So I choose English United Kingdom like this, and I go to a certain word like a cognate, like identité, like that. Then I'm getting the French pronunciation.
Identité.
And then the English pronunciation.
Identity.
There we are. And likewise with a word like quand.
Quand.
And the English translation.
Camp.
Okay, so completely different. So you can see that could again be useful for encouraging independence, independent learning, etc. You can translate the whole document, but that's not necessarily what we want our students to do, but that is a possibility as well. So there we are. That's User Immersive Reader with websites. Let me come out of the text here and go back to here and go back to the slideshow and carry on from there. Okay, so let me click the next one. So there's also Helperbird for Chrome and Google Docs. So I'm just going to come out of this and show you this live. So Helperbird is a similar type of Chrome extension. If I go to here, for example, and I right click and I choose Helperbird, you'll notice that there are a number of different accessibility features that you can use here. But this one I'm just going to show you is called View in Immersive Reader. I click on that and it will show exactly what you've just seen before. There we are, exactly the same as I've just shown you with User Immersive Reader on websites. But I can also copy this text and I could go to a Google Doc, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go to, I'm going to put in the shortcut docs.new, which if you don't know, docs.new allows you to create a Google Doc as a blank document quickly and easily. It works in the same way for slides.new or sites.new or jam.new. It works in a similar way just to get a blank document in whichever resource you're looking at. So this is the text that I've just copied across into Google Docs. And now what I'm going to do is show you how to add the Helperbird extension. So you click extensions, you click add-ons and get add-ons like this. Once you've done that, you do a little search here for Helperbird. Okay, you search for that. There it is. I've already installed it, so I'm not going to install it again. And as a result of that, when you click on extensions, you'll see Helperbird is now here. So I can now click open. The little pane appears on the right-hand side. And as a result of that, you get this little green circle with a white book in it. You click on that, and that will then launch Immersive Reader. I'll just highlight the text as well, and then click that again. There we are. And now what will happen, there we are, is top right, you get this little diagonal arrow. So you click on that, and then exactly as before, you've got all the same functionality.
Midterm 2022, Donald Trump confronté à
So of course, in that context, you could write your own text in Google Docs or in Word and run Immersive Reader. So it doesn't have to be a text copied from somewhere else. Okay, hopefully that's nice and clear on how that works. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions so far, so that's all right for you. Thank you. Let's carry on. Okay, so after Helper Bird, we have got Microsoft Lens. Now, Microsoft Lens is a fantastic app which works on iOS, on Android, and on Windows surfaces as well. It used to be called Office Lens. This is a little screenshot of a tweet, top left, which is from Damien Lonergan, who I saw yesterday. I think it was one of these language learning labels through the European Commission, which is fantastic to see. And he, during the first lockdown, was using Microsoft Lens, formerly known as Office Lens, to digitize paper worksheets. So essentially, you can see a little flavor of this in the screenshot. What he's done here is taking a picture of a worksheet. As a result of that, you can then turn it into a flattened version. You can see that the little handles appear in each corner and on each side of the document. I would recommend choosing the document option when you get to scan. You then simply tap the white circle to take the picture, and it allows you to then flatten that particular paper worksheet into a digitized version. Not only can you do that with one piece of paper, but you can do that with multiple bits of paper and export them all as one PDF. You can also open it as a Word document as well, which is great. And it has the immersive reader option as well. So you could take a scan or take a picture of a piece of text and then open it up in immersive reader. So that's really brilliant as well. If you were to open it in, say, a Word document, then yes, you would be able to edit it as well. I can see another question from Mary there. Here is a little video clip from Desi Tennyson, who is a professional learning specialist and also an Irish language teacher from Northern Ireland. And he goes through on how to do that here as well. So that's fantastic. Let's go on to the next page. If you're looking at ways of grabbing image text, then there is a Windows tool. I've given you the link here on the Microsoft App Store called PhotoScan. And what it allows you to do, as you can see, this is from Rebecca Jones. I don't know if Rebecca's here live right now, but she has taken a picture with some text in it in French and has been able to, essentially using an OCR tool, PhotoScan, to turn it into digital text, which means it's then editable. The only one thing I would say about PhotoScan is, annoyingly, it comes with adverts. And when I looked at this, some of the adverts were inappropriate. What I mean by that is, scantily clad ladies. I have contacted the developers and they haven't got back to me yet, which is a bit annoying. You can pay £4 to get rid of the adverts, but I haven't done that yet. But that is something to consider if you wanted to use this in a Microsoft environment. If I go to the next page, I'm going to show you the equivalent in Google Keep of being able to grab an image text. Now you can see here that in the middle I've got an animated GIF, and I've written the words, "This is a test." So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come out of the presentation and show you live how this works. If I click Exit Slideshow, because I can see in the chat someone's asked about handwritten text. If I now go to Google Keep, this is my actual Google Keep, and I've got a picture here that I took recently in Dublin. I've been going to Dublin doing lots of courses there, and you can see here I've written, "This is a test." Now what you can do is you can click on the three dots here and click Grab Image Text. And as a result of that, I can scroll down, and can you see here underneath, it's realized that this is text there, Academy Plaza Hotel, but it's also recognized my handwriting, and it's written, "This is a test," which is fabulous. I'm just going to show you now live how to do this with digital text. So I'm going to go back to this lovely article here, and I'm going to take a screenshot. So to do that, I'm going to go to Skip and Sketch, which I've got here, click New, and I'm going to just make a little screen grab like this, like that. Okay, this has now come up. I'm going to click Save, like that, and click Save. There we are. I'm now going to go to Keep, and I'm going to click Close and click the image option. Find the screen grab, which is, let's have a quick look. See if I can find, I should have named it, shouldn't I? There we are. It's this one, I think. Is it that one? Let's have a quick look at the date. No, it's not that one. It is this one. Right, there we are. There's the text. So this is an image. I can't edit this, but what I can do is click the three dots and click grab image text. And as a result of that, it's turned it into a editable version. And this works on the iOS and the Android app version as well for Google Keep. So there we are. I'm amazed that it works with handwriting. It's awesome. Okay, let's carry on. Hopefully that's nice and clear. You can see here as well that Jérôme Nogues, who spoke as part of the show and tell last evening, that you can also upload an image with text in it into Google Drive, and that will also allow you to convert it into editable text as well. So great stuff here. Okay, let's carry on. This is an article by Holly Murray and Sarah Gibbons, looking at how to support students with dyslexia on the Wriggle Connect website, which is an Irish organization. Some of these things I've talked about already. So it's a really nice article to remind yourself. There's also other ones such as Seeing AI, which is another Microsoft tool, which allows you to point a camera at something and it will basically tell you what it can see. So if I were to point it at myself, it will say it'll give you the age. It's quite flattering. It normally says I'm in my 30s, which is lovely, but 35-year-old man with brown hair and blue eyes, that sort of thing. So it's quite fun to point at different objects, in your house or what have you, and see what it says. So that's called Seeing AI. Google Lens is a similar type of tool, but that works with Google. Okay. Right. I'm now going to show you how easy it is to generate a transcript in Word. This doesn't always work, but I'm going to show you the idea behind it. So I'm just going to need a Word document. So I'm going to go to Word Online. When I do this on my Mac, it always seems fine, but when I'm using it on this machine, so it might be something to do with my audio selections, I'm not sure. Let's click on sign in. It should sign me in automatically. Maybe not. If it's not going to, maybe let's just see. No, it is signing me in automatically. Phew, that's good. And then all I need to do is tap on create like this. There we are. And then Word. And let's click on a blank document. Okay. So having done that, you've got two different things I want to show you. One is dictation and one is transcription. So if I click here like this, let's just wait for it to load up. There we are. You can see it says transcribe. So I click on transcribe like this. I choose the language like this. So let's go down to English, United Kingdom. But of course, you could be choosing French, German, Spanish, etc. You can upload your recording, or you can just click start recording. Let me start with the start recording. So what I'm doing right now is I'm speaking into the microphone, and it should be able to transcribe my voice live like this. Okay, so I click save and transcribe now. It uploads it onto OneDrive, and that should produce. It has worked. Fantastic. Oh, I'm so pleased. When I've demonstrated this in other webinars, it hasn't necessarily worked, but it's working now, so that's all good. So if I click on add to document, I can choose just text with speakers, with timestamps, with speakers and timestamps. So if I click there, it's now added my my voice transcription straight into the document. I'm so pleased. That's lovely. So you can see here, it says start recording. So let me get rid of the start recording bit. And as you can see, it's saying, so what am I doing right now is I'm speaking to the microphone. And it should be able to, so it's got it perfectly. That's great. Lovely. That's great. So you could take an audio recording if you wanted to, and upload the MP3 file, or you could ask your students to record live and create a transcript of this in real time, which is just lovely. The other thing, as I'm here, I wanted to show you is the dictate option. So if I go to dictate, it's now listening to me, and what should be happening? Can you see that the text is appearing on the screen, which is very scary and a bit dystopian? What I can do now is click on the cog and choose a different language. So let's choose French from France and click save, and click let's go to a new line, and let's hope this will work. Alors maintenant, je parle en français, et comme vous voyez, le texte apparaît après chaque fois que je parle, comme ça. Parfait. There we are. So not bad at all. Well, both the things are working. That's lovely. So hopefully that's really clear on how you can use the dictate option in order to speak into the microphone and it will turn your voice into text, and how you can also transcribe existing audio that you have and put that into Microsoft Word. So just to clarify how I changed the language, I clicked on the cog here and it says spoken language. You just click on here and you choose the language that you want. Okay, hopefully that's nice and clear, Malika, for you. Okay, let's click cancel and let's carry on. So that's how you do that. And on the right hand side is a little video clip from Jérôme Nogues, who I mentioned a moment ago, on how you can create a transcript of a YouTube video, which obviously is something that we'd all want to do. Okay, let's carry on. This is the equivalent of doing dictation in Word, but doing it in Google Docs. So this is called voice typing. The instructions are all here, plus a video clip. I'm just going to show you live. So if I go to my Google Doc and I go to a new line like this, I can go to the tools menu, go to where it says voice typing like that. And I can click on, as you can see, it says English UK. So I can just do this. So this is how we do Google Docs voice typing to enable us to improve pronunciation and as teachers to save time. So that's working perfectly. I can now change the language as before. I always find it amusing that look how many Spanish options there are, from Bolivia, from Chile, from Colombia, etc., lots and lots, but for French, there's only one. So what about Québécois French or Swiss French or what have you? Okay, so let's go now. Alors maintenant, je parle en français et comme vous voyez, voice typing, ça marche super bien et je peux relaxer et je peux parler et le texte apparaît devant moi. Super. Okay, so that's pretty perfect, I think, by the looks of things. And obviously you could then go in and edit that as well. So a great time saver. I use voice typing all the time. I also use dictation on my iPad as well, which you can enable very easily. But if you are using Microsoft tools, then use the dictate option as well. So it should be good for time saving for the teacher, but also for helping with pronunciation and for accessibility with the students. Okay, let's go back to here and let's carry on from there. I forgot to mention as well, let's see if I can get this working very quickly. If I wanted to do some sort of hack for creating a transcription, then what I could do is the following. If I go to, let's say, YouTube on my iPad, and I go to my channel, which if you don't know is available at Joe Dale 100, and just got a little advert here that's playing, which is going to go in about 1 minute or 1 second. There we are, skip adverts. And there we are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to point the iPad at my microphone and press play while I've got voice typing enabled, making sure that the language is correct. So I'm going to choose English at the top, which is here, English United Kingdom. And this may not work, but let's just see if it's going to work. So I click on voice typing and then press play.
A webinar after everyone is coming back to school or university, so it's really, really exciting. Today is the 5th of September 2022, and
wow, so it's worked. So that's not, it won't be as accurate compared to using the transcribe option in Word, but it's a hack way of being able to create a transcript using Google Docs. So hopefully that was nice and clear. Let's have a quick look at the question. If the pronunciation is not proper in any target language, can it still detect and generate a transcript? It will generate a transcript, but there'll be problems. There'll be it won't correct your inappropriate language or bad pronunciation, what have you. It will just transcribe what it hears. Yep. Okay, let's carry on. Thanks, Robbie. I really appreciate your comment there. Lovely. So let's carry on. I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat all the time with these, but never mind. It's all good. Let's carry on. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so this is the instructions on how to do dictation, which I've just shown you. So that's all good. So you've got that. You've got the whole presentation. Oh, this is closed captions in Google Slides. Let me show you how this works. What you do is you click on the 3 dots here, and you click on caption preferences, and you've got toggle captions. You can choose the text position. I've got it on the bottom, and text size, and I'm going for extra large, but the annoying thing is it's only available in English at the moment, but I'm sure that will change knowing Google. So let's see how this works. Okay, so Google is listening to me right now. And as you can see, what's happening is my closed captions for what I'm saying are appearing underneath in real time in my Google Slides presentation. This is not being recorded. So if I wanted to record, the language show presentation is being recorded, but my closed captions are being recorded by the fact that we are recording in Zoom right now. But if I wanted to record this separately, I'd need to use a third-party tool, if that makes sense. So the captions are not suddenly bonded to the presentation. You'd have to use a tool for recording the screen as we're doing right now. So that's closed captioning in Google Slides, but it's only available in English at the moment. Now, to stop that, I click on the three dots there, caption preferences, and I simply click on that again. And now we've gone back to what we were on before. Okay, now you'll be pleased to hear that you can also do this in PowerPoint. And this is one of the features which I've been showing recently to particularly with teachers in Dublin, European teachers from all over the continent, and they've been absolutely loving it. So I'm going to show you this live now. So I'm going to go to my presentation. So this is just literally a blank slide. There's nothing on it. And what you do is you go to where it says slideshow, and then always use subtitles. So you click on here like this, and you choose the spoken language like that, and you choose the subtitle language. So I'm going to choose English for right now. In fact, no, I'm not going to choose English. I'm going to choose French. So let's go for French. There we are. And now I'm going to click from current slide like that. Then the slide will then appear as if by magic in a moment, or maybe not. Let me just come out again. What's it doing? That's the great thing about doing this live. I literally practiced this a moment ago and it was all fine. So let me just try that again. If it doesn't work, just refresh the page and it'll be fine. So I'm just waiting for that to load up again. And then as a result of that, I'll be able to hopefully show you how this works. So don't forget, it's slideshow, always use subtitles, and then you run the slideshow and then you'll be fine. Oh, I'm really hoping I can show you this because it's an absolutely killer thing. So the way in which the teachers in Europe were getting very excited about this was because of the fact that I was saying you could speak in your own language, but have the subtitle generated in Ukrainian, for example, which is one of the options if you have Ukrainian students coming into your class. It's not going to work, is it? Let me just click on PowerPoint and see if I can just create a new presentation, see if I can get it working that way. Because for some reason, it doesn't want to load at the moment. Hopefully, I'm not having an internet connection issue. Yep, it just doesn't want to work right now. Okay, it was working, but it doesn't want to work right now. So that's all good. Let's just carry on. You have to just believe me. It's amazing. But never mind. Never mind. I'm hoping that's not my internet in general. No, that seems to be working okay, but maybe that was just cached. Let's carry on. Okay, never mind. Okay, but that's a really killer feature, I think. Okay, you've also got closed captioning in OneNote. This is a video clip by Mike Tolfson, who is showing you how to do that. I'm not going to play that video right now, but you can have a look at that as well if you're working in that sort of environment. You've also got closed captioning in Book Creator, which again, I will try to show you live right now. I'll just go back to this. No, it's absolutely not working. Typical. Never mind. So let me go back to Book Creator, or let me go to Book Creator, should I say, and show you how this works. So if I click on the plus icon, if you haven't seen Book Creator before, it's amazing for making your own ebooks. I'll need to just quickly stop my video. There we are. And if I now click camera and record video, then I can do the following. Here we go. So adding closed captions in Book Creator is really easy. Look, they're appearing underneath as we speak. Okay, so just on my little video, I click use video. It now appears on the screen like this. There we are. It shouldn't take long for it to appear. And then once it's done that, then what you do is you select it. It's already selected actually because you've got the blue handles in each corner. And then you click on the eye icon and you click add captions. And we should be good to go. While I'm there, I'm just going to see, no, it's definitely not working. That is completely annoying. There we are. Okay, so there we are. There's my video. I now click on the eye icon like that. And you can see it says add captions. I click add captions. You choose the language and you click. So you see here, you've got all these different languages to choose from, and you click generate automatically. And then it does take a little bit of time. It shouldn't take that long, but it takes a little bit of time for that to happen, and then we can go from there. I can see in the Q&A we've got a question: how can I get the recording of the session, please? The recording will appear in the Zoom event about an hour after each session has finished. So you'll have this one in about an hour's time or so. So there we are. I know it's a lot to remember, but that's why I'm giving everyone the presentation, and you can record it as well. There we are. Can you see? So apart from the fact that it's put Book Creator with a small b and a small c, that's pretty much perfect. And then I can just click play like that. Adding closed captions in Book Creator. There it is, and I can click done. And then if I then press the preview option and press play, adding closed captions in Book Creator is really easy. Look, they're appearing underneath as we speak. Okay, so I can see it should have said they are appearing rather than they're appearing. Adding closed captions in Book Creator, that, it's pretty perfect. Okay, so obviously I could have gone through and edited that in my own time. I'll just show you another couple of ideas here in Book Creator. If you click the plus icon and click text, you've got the audio option. So I can click on that right now. I've got English as the language spoken, but I can change that to, let's press stop. I can change that to French. Oh. Okay, now I can get rid of this. And I can say, for example, mon livre numérique. Okay, and I click done, and then my voice has been turned into text. So those are a few ideas with Book Creator. I am running out of time a little bit now, so I'm just going to whip through the last couple of things. So there we are. And let's carry on. Okay. In this example, what I've done here is I've taken the background image, which I found on the image search within Book Creator. I then found another website called photosforclass.com, which is brilliant for finding royalty-free images. I did a search for the word man, and I found this gentleman I've used many times in different multimedia creations. I then removed the background from his image using a fantastic website called remove.bg. So that's remove.b and then g, as in the letters. And it allowed me to then remove the background, and I was able to then drop the picture into Book Creator to make it look as if he was in the coffee shop. I then added the thinking bubbles and the spoken bubbles. I added the text, and then I recorded my voice using the record audio option, and I put the loudspeaker icon over each of the bubbles, and then I selected the loudspeaker icon, clicked on the eye icon, and chose make invisible when reading. And as a result of that, then the loudspeaker icons disappear when you run it in the preview mode or the play mode, and it means you can make your own personalized narrated photo stories using Book Creator. I've mentioned the dictation option here already, and there's also this book called Supporting Language Learners with Book Creator that you can access as well via the link in the presentation. So Book Creator is fantastic for languages. In Flip, formerly known as Flipgrid, you can also generate closed captions. I don't have time to show you right now, but you have to just believe me, it's in settings for each topic, and you can enable closed captioning, and that's how you can generate that in a number of different languages. I did a webinar with Alison Woodrow, who's a former languages teacher who now works with Text Help, and they have produced a number of different extensions to help with accessibility, particularly read and write. And if you watch that webinar, it's about an hour long, and it goes through all the different options. There's also a little video clip here from Darren White, known as Ranga the Trainer on Twitter, and he shows how to use the Read and Write Chrome extension. So that's cool as well. Let's carry it on. Just a thought, if you found this useful and you'd be interested in asking me to do either face-to-face training or a webinar or webinars for you anywhere in the world, I don't mind what time I get up in the morning or what time I stay up at night, what have you. Any time can work. And here are 18 example sessions that you can have a look at. And if there's things you particularly like in some sessions and other sessions, then you can cherry pick the things that you like, and you can ask me to design something bespoke for you. I'm also running some webinars with the amazing Esmeralda Salgado, who was talking yesterday at the Language Show. We've done two so far around listening and reading. We've got one coming up on the 23rd of November, around writing. And then the last one is, I think, the 7th of December on speaking. You can join us live, or you can get the recordings afterwards. The details are all here. That's not a free resource, but it is well worth having a look at, because Esmeralda talks about her evidence-based approach, shares a good practice around these different skills, and then I show some techie ideas based on what she's then said. So I'd really encourage you to have a look at that. I thought a video was going to be able to play here, but it's still formatting it apparently. But there we are. That's just all part of the fun. And here's the presentation, which I'm more than happy to put in the chat as well. So it's just is.gd/language show accessibility. And I'm doing another 2 presentations today. One is on podcasting on the program, which starts quite soon. And then the third one is on useful Chrome extensions for language teachers, which hopefully you'll find useful as well. But thank you ever so much for everyone coming along. I think I've kept to time, which is awesome. I'll just see if there's any other questions in the chat. Yeah, so I've shown you the QR code. You've got that already. I think that's all fine. I think I've answered all the questions. I'm just going to try one more time for the PowerPoint, see if that's going to work. No, it's just not working at all. I know when I stop this presentation, it will then work immediately, but right now it doesn't want to work. Oh, it is. Okay. So click to add, hang on. Let's just see if I can get this to work. Let's just go for it. So I click slideshow, always use subtitles, spoken language, English UK, and then for the subtitle language, let's choose Ukrainian, which is there. Run the slideshow, and then what you do is you click on the little icon in the middle of the floating toolbar. And now I'm speaking in English, and what I'm hoping is going to happen is my words are being turned into Ukrainian like this. So you can see how this could be incredibly useful if you have Ukrainian students coming into your classrooms, but also, of course, you could be turning this into the target language that you're teaching as a way of making those sound spelling links, which are so important, and for accessibility. You could use this in EAL classes as well for obvious reasons. So thank you ever so much, everybody, for coming along and being so kind and being so patient with me. And I've been able to cover everything live. That's the beauty of doing things live. But it is working, and I've been able to do everything I've wanted to do. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. There we are. And I'm going to turn my camera back on, and I'm now just going to wave like that. So take care, everybody. And if you fancy coming along to the other 2 sessions I'm doing, I would love to see you there. So I'm going to now end the session, and the recording will be available in about an hour's time. That's my understanding. So take care, everyone. And thanks ever so much for coming along and being such a lovely audience. Thank you.